We'll start with the prayers. Om Saha Bhavato Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahavidyam Karavavahe Tejasvinavaditamastu ma vidvavahaihi. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. We are doing a wonderful text called Atma Bodha after finishing the Tattva Bodha. Last week, I had said Atma Bodha is divided into 5 topics like the Tattva Bodha. The first topic which we are discussing now is a roadmap in our spiritual journey. The second topic is what is the cause of problems in life, which is called as samsara. The third topic is what is the method of removing this samsara by self-inquiry. The fourth topic is how do I assimilate the knowledge about Atma? And the last topic is what is the jnana. Suppose I get this Atma Jnanam, what can I expect out of it? And the Veda says, by knowing this Atma, you will be free from birth and death in the future. This is a very, very tall claim by the Veda. Nowhere in any literature world do we find this benefit, that we don't get born in this world again. By pure jnanam, by pure knowledge. So that is why this knowledge of Atma is taught in 3 scriptures. One is Bhagavad Gita, second is Upanishads, and the third is Brahma Sutra. All these 3 scriptures, they focus on Atma alone. So if you study Atma Bodha, if you study Tattva Bodha, if you study Bhagavad Gita or Upanishads, you are only trying to understand your own nature. It's a very unique science. We finished the first verse. Today we are going to start the second verse. The first topic of the roadmap of spiritual journey is from verse number 1 to 5. Totally, there are 68 verses in Atma Bodha. It will take us about 15 sessions to complete this text. The second verse, which we'll take up now, tells us what is the direct means of knowledge. What is the direct means of freedom from birth and death? Let's listen to this verse.
Bodhonya sadhanebhyo hi sakshan mokshaika sadhanam pakasya vahni vajnanam विना मोक्षो न सिद्ध्यति विना मोक्षो न सिद्ध्यति.
This is a very common example which Shankaracharya has taken, which is found in all the households. See, we do cooking at home. Now, for cooking, we use different items. We use fire, we use different vessels, we use different vegetables, and so on. Now, all the accessories are also means for preparing the final dish through cooking. Now, if you were to ask what is the central direct cause of cooking, so you will say fire is that central cause. Similarly, for liberation is called as moksha. Moksha means freedom from birth and death in the future. For this moksha, which is a result of knowledge, what is the direct means? The direct means are the Veda scriptures. The mantras of Veda scriptures give us this jnanam, give us this knowledge. What does it tell us? It tells us that I am the Atma, which is a spirit, which is a pure spiritual essence, which we call it as Chaitanyam. Chaitanya means consciousness, awareness. That is my pure nature. Knowing that pure nature, I get liberated from my identification with this body and mind and the world. So I get liberated from the world. That is the essence of this mantra. Normally, when we study any text, we have to remember 4 factors, which are called as Anubandha Chatushtayam in Sanskrit. The first factor is Adhikari. Adhikari means who is the target audience? Who has eligibility to study this text? So the Adhikari is somebody who has got a control over his sense organs, his mind. We have studied Sadhana Chatushtayam, which means the 4 Ds: desire, dispassion, discipline, and the desire to have moksha. So discrimination, dispassion, discipline, and the desire to gain freedom from birth and death. That is what together is called as an eligible student who can come to this Atma Jnana. Suppose you are not seeking this knowledge. First of all, you should know what is this knowledge meant for. This knowledge is meant for removing sorrow in life and gaining happiness, permanent happiness. Suppose you're not interested in this, then you will not be coming to this. Suppose you say, I only want to earn money in the world, then you are not interested in Atma Bodha, Tattva Bodha, Bhagavad Gita, and all that. So adhikari is a eligible student. The second factor is vishaya. Every text we has adhikari. We should find out who is the eligible, who can study this text. The second is what is the subject matter. Is the subject matter of Atma Bodha something to do with cosmology, astrology, or any other sciences? No. Atma Bodha means Atma means I, the self, my real nature, which never leaves me, is this consciousness awareness. So the subject matter is who am I? I am this Chaitanya Atma. This awareness, consciousness is my nature. This is the subject matter which is being studied in this text. The third factor is prayojanam. Prayojanam means what is the benefit of this knowledge? The text may give knowledge, but then if it is not useful to me, I will not study the text. The prayojanam, the benefit is freedom from mental problems, emotional problems, intellectual problems of ignorance. I don't know who I am. I don't know what is this world. I don't know who is the creator. These are big problems for some people. So how to remove this is taught in Atma Bodha. Sambandha. Sambandha means what is the connection between the knowledge I will get in this text and the benefit which the text promises me. Is there any connection? Then only I'll be motivated to study this text. Now, whenever we talk of sambandha or connection, there are two types of connections. One is a primary direct connection, which is knowledge. The second connection is indirect secondary means for jnana. For example, you have karma yoga, bhakti yoga, hatha yoga, kundalini yoga, then you have pilgrimages, then you have puja, you have lot of things which are connected in the religious field. What Vedanta Shankaracharya says is all other rituals, worship, they are secondary means for moksha, not the direct means. What is the direct mean? Study of Bhagavad Gita and Upanishad mantras is the direct means of this knowledge. In Bhagavad Gita, there is a verse in the 4th chapter. Even though you have not done it, most of you may have done it, but in case you have done it, you might remember this. Chaturvarnyam maya srishtam gunakarma vibhagashah tasya kartaramapi mam vidya kartaram avyayam. So, there Lord Krishna is teaching Arjuna, the student. This entire creation, wherever you may be, is divided into fourfold according to the differences in the mind of a person. We will study this when we do the actual text, Bhagavad Gita. According to the gunas. Gunas means a tendency of your mind to do action, a tendency of your mind to go through knowledge, or a tendency of your mind to remain inert. Inertia is there. According to the tendency of the mind, the Lord says, I have created all the human beings. So a person who is knowledge oriented by nature, he is the one who will come to do this study. The following thing talks about the word analysis of this mantra, anya sadhanayobhyo. That means compared to all the sadhanas, jnana yoga, jnana praptihi, attainment of knowledge of Atma is the direct means. In Svetashvarataro Upanishad, it says that if you can roll up the sky like a carpet, then I will tell you, yes, you can do other means. You can follow other sadhanas as a means for direct knowledge. So basically, it means that you cannot roll up the sky like a carpet. It is impossible. So, like in cooking, you have the heat, the fire is a direct means, the water, vegetables, the gas, other, say, money required to buy vegetables, they are all there, but they are indirect means. Similarly, for jnanam, for moksha, jnanam is the direct cause, and the indirect causes are puja, japa, and other yoga like pranayama and so on. Very simple mantras. All the mantras in Atma Bodha, Shankaracharya has written in a very simple way so that a beginner who is entering the spiritual study can understand these verses, get the meaning, and then go to study of Bhagavad Gita. So all these are preparations for you to study the Bhagavad Gita and the Upanishads correctly. See, a lot of people, they study Bhagavad Gita. They just suddenly start with chapter 3, and then they go to chapter 9, and then they go to chapter 15, and then they find that what is this Gita? I don't understand anything. Why? Because they have not done Tattva Bodha, Atma Bodha. If you do this and you study Gita right from chapter 1 to 18 systematically, then you will understand the same Atma is being taught in a higher grade. And then you go to Upanishad, still higher grade. Then you go to Brahma Sutra, the highest grade of knowledge. It is a ladder. First you start with Tattva Bodha, then Atma Bodha, then these three texts. Now we will go to the next mantra.
अविरोधितया कर्मा अविरोधितया कर्मा नाविद्यां विनिवर्तयेत् नाविद्यां विनिवर्तयेत् विद्या विद्यां निहन्त्येव विद्या विद्यां निहन्त्येव तेजस्तिमिरसङ्घवत् तेजस्तिमिरसङ्घवत्.
Here, Shankaracharya compares action which we do in life. Suppose you keep on doing actions. You earn money, you do that, you do many activities, household activities, official activities, duties to the society, all that. He says all these are fine, but action cannot destroy the ignorance about art. Suppose you have darkness in a room. See, the beauty of Atma Bodha is Shankaracharya gives very simple examples to convey the message of understanding Atma. Here in this verse, he gives an example. What is the example? He says, suppose you are in a dark room and you want to know what are the things in the room. So what will you do? Will you keep on mopping the floor? No. Suppose you just switch on the light, the darkness which was there in the room will go away and you will know what you want, what is there. So similarly, action, karma cannot get rid of ignorance. Karma has utility, but it cannot remove ignorance about our own nature. That is what Shankaracharya wants to say in this particular verse. So, doing Pada Puja of Swamiji's, doing yoga asana, doing meditation, they cannot replace knowledge of the scriptures. See, normally, action or karma, we divide into two broad categories. One is secular. Secular means all the rituals which you do at home. Even going to church is a ritual. Secular means all those common activities like going to office or going to work and earning money and all that. That's secular. Sacred activities are divided into three parts in Vedanta. Kahika, Vachika, Manasa. Kahika means something which you do with your physical body. Like you go to Kailash, Mount Kailash, or you go to some Tirupati, Sabarimalai, Tiruvannamalai. All these are all different cities which has got religious connotations. Or you visit, you go to visit Mecca. All these are all religious centers. They have got tremendous spiritual benefits. These are all called as sacred activities done through the body. There are second category which is called as Vachikam. Suppose you chant Bhagavad Gita or Atma Bodha or Tattva Bodha or Narayaniyam or Bhagavatam or Upanishads. Suppose you just chant them. You learn something, you chant. That is called as verbal actions. The third one is Manasa Karma. Manasa Karma means meditation. You are doing meditation. Meditation helps you to quieten your mind. But you are still ignorant. See, what Shankaracharya wants to say is karma cannot remove ignorance. Jnanam alone can remove ignorance about your nature. Why? Because aviroditaya. Aviroditaya means they are all opposed to ignorance. Karma means you are still in ignorance. You are doing action after action. Till the end of your life, you are earning money. 65 years old. Still trying to build a house. That will not remove ignorance about yourself. It cannot neutralize ignorance of Atma. Ignorance of Atma is we are all born with it. So, suppose you are at a train station and you want to know what time the train is going to leave for Bombay. Now, you need to look at the timetable. You cannot do an action of you can't sweep the station, you can't clean trains. You won't know. So you need knowledge. So Veda provides you the knowledge to know the ignorance in your mind. What about the source of light which we can see? Fire, moon, sun, electricity, these are all sources of light. But can they remove the ignorance of Atma? No. So come to Vedanta or Veda to remove ignorance about yourself. There are two types of goals in the universe. One type of goal is where you have different paths. Suppose you want to reach Delhi. You can take a train, you can take a plane, you can drive around, you can come from Amritsar, you can go from Chennai, you can go from Bombay. Different routes are there, different methods are there. That is one type of destination, a goal to be attained. A second type of goal is light and darkness. You want to remove darkness, there is only one method, and that is you have to light the lamp. Moksha or liberation from this body, there is only one method which removes the darkness called as mula avidya. And according to Veda, this self-ignorance is cause of all problems in our life. All the problems which we face in life are through our body-mind complex. Body-mind complex is by itself, according to Veda, is born out of self-ignorance alone. These are things which you will learn slowly as you gradually go to higher texts. You will learn more about this ignorance, self-ignorance. So Karma Kanda means the way the Purva Bhaga is useful to diagnose our life. But what cures the problem of samsara or problems, emotional, intellectual problems which we all have? The only source of knowledge is jnanam. Again and again, Shankaracharya, throughout Atma Bodha and in even higher texts, Shankaracharya stresses this point that you have to study the Veda to get rid of problems in life. Unless you study, you will not know. You start the study, slowly you will start understanding and appreciating, oh yes, this is the knowledge I need. By the end of Atma Bodha text, you will get a full knowledge by which you will be convinced that this jnanam alone is the medicine for problems in life. Next mantra.
Parichinna iva jnanat. Parichinna iva jnanat. Tannashe sati kevalah. Tannashe sati kevalah. Swayam prakashate hyatma. Swayam prakashate hyatma. मेघापायेऽंशुमानिव मेघापायेऽंशुमानिव.
In this, Shankaracharya teaches us about our ignorance about our real nature. My real nature is awareness, consciousness, which is called as Atma. The Atma means the self. Now, if I consider myself to be this body, I am limited in time and limited in place. I was not there before the birth of the body. I will not be there after the death of the body. I am here in India. I am not in America. I am in London. I am not in India. These are all limitations of the body. Suppose you say, I am awareness consciousness principle. Earlier, you were ignorant about Atma. Now you are studying about Atma, and the study, Shankaracharya says, Atma is Chaitanyam, consciousness. And he gives an example. Example in this is, suppose you are in a rainy season and you don't see the sun, you see the dark clouds. After some time, so when you are seeing the dark clouds, the sun behind is hidden. You can't see the sun. So similarly, all of us are like trying to see the sun, but our mind is full of darkness. What lies beyond the mind, I am not able to see. When the clouds are passed away because of the wind comes and blows the clouds away, you can see the sun properly. Similarly, a guru comes and says, come on, you are not this body, you are not mind. Don't keep on thinking about the problems in life. There is something called as a sakshi of the mind, a witness of the mind. And see whether you are a witness to your thoughts. Suppose you say, yes, I know my thoughts, I know my emotions. That is what you are. You are a witness, but not the witness. The witnessed is the thoughts. So this is the way to remove the ignorance. So a proper diagnosis of mental, physical, emotional problems has to be done. Then you will realize that all my problems are related to myself taking me to be finite individual, a small entity in creation. What is the definition of sorrow according to Veda? Veda says a sense of limitation. I am a limited individual living in a small house with small knowledge. Finite little bit of knowledge I have. I am a limited body. My intellect is also limited. That limit, and I have got tons of desires. These are all limitations which we have at the body level, at the mind level, and at the intellect level. Whenever we are identified with our mind intellect, which is called as BMI, I will be using this term BMI very often. Whenever I'm identified with BMI, I will feel limited with my desires, with my emotions. And constantly my mind will be engaged in either possessions, my profession, my family, or body and mind. These are the 5 areas in which my mind will be constantly pulled throughout the day. This causes finitude. Finitude means sorrow. How to get rid of this finitude? It is through Atma Vidya. Knowledge of Atma helps me to get rid of this finitude problem. Anything finite cannot be converted to infinite. Unless until I am infinite by nature, then only knowing this nature, my finitude will go away. So ignorance about myself can be removed. Temporarily, I have considered myself to be this body mind. A guru comes and teaches me, you are not the body, you are not the mind, you are an eternal being, a spiritual being. You are Atma, which is eternal, which never has birth, which never has death. So when I lose the sight of this truth, then I become a waker, dreamer, sleeper. In dream, what happens? I forget that I'm a waker, lying in a beautiful air-conditioned room in a fantastic bed and very comfortably sleeping. But what happens in dream? I forget I'm a waker lying in the bed, and then I start projecting in dream. In the dream, I get lost and I suffer. In the dream, I cannot believe that I'm a waker. So same thing happens in the waking state also. According to Veda, whatever is happening in dream, a very similar thing happens in waking. What is my real nature? Veda says you are a sakshi. Your awareness, consciousness, you are not at all involved in the transactions in life or the body and mind. So my nature is pure Atma. Atma is not the body. It is not a part of the body. It is not a property of the body. It is an independent existing principle. Now I forget that I am Atma and I think I am the body and I suffer. Tan ajnana nashe sati. By only removing the ignorance, a person will wake up to his real nature. And what happens when you wake up to the nature of Atma? The, the realization is, suppose you wake up as a waker from dream. What will you realize? I, the waker myself, was the dream mind and the dream objects. I, the waker alone. Similarly, when you wake up to Atma, you will say, I, the pure Atma, the pure consciousness, pure nature of awareness, in which there is no body, no mind, no world. That waking world itself appeared in me, the Atma, will be your realization. So, like the sun which is covered, you remove the cover, and what happens? You remove the clouds, and then the sun is self-shining. The sun reveals itself. Similarly, when you remove the body, mind, and the world, the self shines. In sleep state, what happens? I have dropped the identification with this body. I don't have any connection with the mind also. Mind has gone to sleep. Therefore, Atma shines in sleep as the pure self. Nityo upalabdhi swarupa Atma. Aham asmi. I am the non-dual. Non-dual means what? There is no second Atma. I alone am there as the entire world, which is the waking world. So we all have to rise from our waking state to this super waker state and realize in the super waker state, I am the Atma. And then you should say, I am in the waking state, you should say, I am the Atma. In all the states, I am the pure awareness, consciousness principle. The goal is to reach and claim Atma as my real nature. But what happens to the bodies, the three bodies? We studied in Tattva Bodha, so many classes we said, Stula Shariram, Sukshma Shariram, Karana Shariram, Annamaya Kosha, five koshas, and then we talked about waking, dream, sleep. All that is packaged in a box and it is called Mula Avidya. All these other things is ignorance. So, whatever is visible to me, which I know in the world, Veda tells me it is all ignorance. Whatever is invisible to me, which is Atma, Veda says that is your real nature. And that is eternally available. That has got no time limitation, no place limitation. And it is self evident all the time. And I have to claim that Atma and become free. So, this is the path of self discovery. I told you verse 1 to 5 tells you the roadmap. Now, the last verse in the first section is this fifth mantra.
अज्ञानकलुषं जीवम् अज्ञानकलुषं जीवम् ज्ञानाभ्यासाद्विनिर्मलम् ज्ञानाभ्यासाद्विनिर्मलम् कृत्वा ज्ञानं स्वयं नश्येत् कृत्वा ज्ञानं स्वयं नश्येत् जलं कतकरेणुवत् जलं कतकरेणुवत्.
Here, Shankaracharya gives another example. See, I told you, all these 68 verses are so beautifully organized with examples. Here, the example is of a kartaka nut. Suppose you take an impure glass of water. Some impurities are there, some dust particles are there, some shrubs are there in the glass of water. Suppose you put this kartaka nut into the water. What will the kartaka nut do? It will absorb all the impurities and it will take it down. And in the top portion, you will see the pure water. This is the example. Now he says, all of us are leading an egocentric life, governed by the I sense in this body. The ego is called as I sense. This I sense is a temporary phenomenon. which happens in the waking state and dream state. In the sleep state, this I sense is not there. Now, how do I dissolve this I sense and realize that pure Atma? What is that kartaka nut for this self knowledge, or for this self ignorance, which is the impurity in my mind? The kartaka seed is called as Atma Jnanam. Ajnanam Janya Adhyasa. Adhyasa means I am the pure consciousness, which I don't know today. But in that consciousness, I have, that is my pure I. There is an ego I which is created whenever I am identified with the body or mind or the world. All of us are in the waking state. We are identified with our body. We are using our sense organs to listen to this talk. We are experiencing the world. So we are all superimposing the upadhi, that means the medium of transaction, on Atma. I am a father, I am a brother, I am a son, I am a wife, I am a daughter. All these are related to the body alone. Atma has no relationships. Atma is asangaha. Atma is pure and unattached. So this doership, enjoyership, kartrutvam, bhoktrutvam, experiencing the world, pramatrutvam. Pramatrutvam means experiencer of the world. So all these are related to the I sense, the ego in the body, mind complex. What about this Atma Jnanam? It is free from any role play of the body or mind. Now, who will teach me that I am the Atma? It is a guru who comes to you and reveals the scriptures and says, this is what is said in the Bhagavad Gita about you. You may be a millionaire, a billionaire, but then you still are in ignorance. That is not going to solve the problem of birth and death, which is a bigger problem. So, ajnanam kalmasham jnanam swayam nashe. Ajnanam is the impurity, and it will go away only with jnanam. Again and again, Shankaracharya wants us to note here in this Atma Bodha that Atma Bodha alone is the medicine for samsara, which means sorrow in life, limitations in life. You wake up from the dream and the dream goes away. You wake up to this Atma and the reality you attach to the waking state goes away. See, today we think that this waking state is the reality. It is the only thing which is available in the world. The torchlight of Veda is shown to you only. And then it tells you that in sleep state, you are not the waker, you are not the dreamer, and there is no world. But you are there or not? You are there. But in what form are you there? That form is called as Atma. So this kartaka powder I explained to you. Like the kartaka removes, jnanam removes the duality. Duality means what? In the waking state, I am a body, I am a mind, and the world I experience is the second thing. Whenever we see a second thing in creation, it is called as duality. In Atma, Atma's nature is Advaita. Nature is Advaita means what? Atma's nature is non-duality. It is alone the substratum, the adhishthanam for the body-mind complex and the world. That is what is said in this verse. Now, a little bit of revision. What is the goal of study for Atma Bodha? I want to be free from this body-mind complex identification. You see, there is a possibility to identify yourself as the awareness, consciousness principle. Today, the problem is I'm identified with the body. Therefore, this identification is called as samsara, limitation, at the physical level, emotional level, intellectual level. The cause of samsara, the cause of all the problems which I face, can be divided only in three types. Either it is a physical problem, emotional problem in family or in the office, or intellectual problem. I don't know so many things in life. Physical problem connected with money, shelter, house, and so on. So all the problems are divided into only these three. And together, these three problems is called as samsara. And what does the scripture, why do you study the scriptures? Why do you come to study Bhagavad Gita? You come to study the Bhagavad Gita because it tells you that you are not the body, you are the Atma, which is always free from limitations. So the notion that I am limited, which is there in my mind, that misconception goes away when I get Atma Jnana. And what are the ways in which I try to remove this ignorance? Broadly speaking, there are three ways in which you do this spiritual study. The first step is called as karma yoga. This is what is said in the Bhagavad Gita. Karma yoga means I purify my mind. Today my mind is full of impurity. Whole day I am obsessed with thoughts and thoughts and thoughts and thoughts. I don't know how I can ever put an end to these thoughts. So, Bhagavad Gita will teach us the method of how to purify the mind with a proper attitude towards action, which we will study in Bhagavad Gita. Upasana yoga is the second discipline, which is basically meditation. How to meditate, how to sit down in meditation, slowly absorb all the thoughts and make your mind single pointed. That is taught in Upasana yoga. The third pursuit of all the seekers is jnana yoga, self knowledge from the scriptures. And then in an Upanishad called as Brihadaneka Upanishad, three steps are described in jnana yoga. What are the three steps in jnana yoga? Jnana means pursuit of Atma Vidya, knowledge of the Atma. First step is Shravanam. Shravanam means listening to the scriptures, like how you are doing now. Then the second is Vedanta Mananam, clearing the doubts in your mind by constantly rotating the thoughts about Atma and Anatma. This happens gradually when you start listening to the scriptures. And the third and the final step is nididhyasanam. Nididhyasanam is a process of claiming I am Atma and disowning I am the body-mind complex. By this three-step process, I transform my entire personality to realize the Atma in this birth itself. Right now, I can understand. But it may take several janmas, several births. And what is the central teaching? The central teaching is I am Sat Chit Ananda Ananta Atma Nitya Muktaha. I will explain this to you. Sat means I am always there. There's no death for me, there's no birth for me because it is eternal. It is eternally the consciousness is there. Chit means awareness. I know I am. Ananda means happiness. This Sat and Chit together when they exist, it expresses as bliss. And the nature of this Satchit Ananda is infinitive, not limited by time, not limited by space, not limited by objects in the world. Nitya Muktaha. This Atma, which is defined as Satchidananda Atma, is Nitya Muktaha. Nitya means eternally free. You see, the thing is that about this knowledge of Atma is right now we are this only. While listening to this Atma Bodha itself, you can, if you are a very sharp intellect, if you have a sharp intellect, immediately this consciousness, awareness will strike you. Immediately. It's because of this alone you are listening to the dog. Because of this alone you are able to perceive the world. Moment I recognize my real nature, my self-misconception, I am the body, mind, I am the body, I am the father, mother, all these are related to the body alone. So, through knowledge, I can drop actions which are done because of misconception. So, I am a limited individual. The small consciousness in this body is a limitation. I am consciousness in which the body-mind complex is arriving and departing. In the waking state, it is there. Body is there. In the sleep state, it is not there. So what about this body? It is a finite thing. It appears, disappears. But what is not finite is the sakshi, the witness of this body. Between the body and witness, the Atma, there is a very big gap today. I don't know that Sakshi, I don't know that Atma. But the moment in the knowledge, immediately you will say, oh, that is actually speaking, when you realize the truth, it is a very simple process. It is a very, very simple process because the moment you say, I am not the body mind, automatically this Atma shines. And when Atma shines, there is no apurvatvam. That means I don't have any limitations at all. The impurity which affects me is the mind. I am mortal. I am perishable. These are all thoughts in the mind. It all refers to the body alone. This is what is called ignorance. Jnani does not claim I am Brahma Jnani, but he says I am Brahman itself. I am not a Brahma Jnani. There's no more knowledge involved about Brahman. Then it is a Paroksha Jnanam. Then it is a something which is attained in the future. That is why they say you have to claim I am the Atma, I am that Brahman. Brahman means it is the Adhishtanam for the entire universe. Atma means it is the Adhishtanam, it is the substratum for the body. The Veda says the substratum of the body is the same as the substratum of the whole universe. Through Mahavakyam, which we studied in Tattva Bodha. Okay. So with this verse 1 to 5, we have finished the first topic. What is the first topic? The spiritual journey. What is the spiritual journey? Today I've got a misconception. I am the body. I am 5 feet tall, 70 kilos. I'm fair, dark. I'm a male, female. All this is body. And it is called as adhyasa. It is called as superimposition. Because I am the pure consciousness, awareness is my real nature. What about the mind identification? Mind has got sorrow, mind has got thoughts of happiness. That thought I identify and say, I am happy. That happiness is a thought, it is a fleeting thought. For 15 minutes, I am happy. After that, again, I come back and I start thinking about all the problems. So, sorrow and happiness are the thoughts which appear in my mind. I am not sorrowful. I am the Atma, is the knowledge. And the spiritual journey is either you can call it as Karma Yoga, Upasana Yoga, Jnana Yoga. That is one type of path, journey. You first start with Karma Yoga, go to Upasana Yoga. Upasana means meditation. Meditation helps you to control your mind. Karma Yoga helps you to control your body. And then once you have controlled your body and mind, then the jnanam which we get from the Bhagavad Gita will teach me I am the Atma. That Atma will shine then. Because you have prepared yourself through this Karma Yoga and Upasana Yoga. And when you come to Jnana Yoga, there are 3 steps. Listening to the scriptures, Shravanam. Contemplating on the scriptures, Mananam. Owning up your real nature as Atma, Nididhyasana. Okay? So that concludes the first topic. Now we will enter the second topic, which is called as superimposition or adhyasa. This adhyasa is the core of samsara. Atma is there. We are all this pure awareness, Atma, which is not at all connected with the body, mind, and the world. But today I am superimposing this body, mind, and the world on this I. And that is what is the cause of problem, which we are going to discuss from verse number 6 to 14. That is the second topic. Let's see the second topic, the first verse, which is the 6th verse.
Samsara swapna tulyo hi संसारः स्वप्नतुल्यो हि रागद्वेषादिसङ्कुलः रागद्वेषादिसङ्कुलः स्वकाले सत्यवत् भाति स्वकाले सत्यवत् भाति प्रबोधे सत्यसत् भवेत् प्रबोधे सत्यसत् भवेत्.
Shankaracharya in the 6th verse brings out the essence of one Upanishad which is called as Mandukya Upanishad. In one verse, he says, our waking state is exactly like the dream state. As long as we are in the waking state, we think that waking state is real. As long as you are in the dream state, you think that the dream world is real. Only when you wake up to the higher state, you realize, and then you realize you're not that waker or dreamer, you are the Atma. That is the essence of this verse. And again and again, what is he saying? The cause of samsara is ajnanam. And moksha means what? Removing this ignorance is called as moksha. Simple. I don't know who I am. I will get the knowledge that I am the Atma, and this ignorance will go, and then samsara will go away. Does it really go away? Yes, you give it a try. Come and listen to the Bhagavad Gita and see what transformation happens to you. Now, this ignorance is the main creator of mischief in my mind. First of all, it covers the knowledge of who I am. That is called as feeling. That is called as non-apprehension of Atma. First of all, this happens. Don't know I am Atma, the pure consciousness awake. I am the real tattvam in this entire creation. I am the reality. There is nothing beyond me. There is nothing other than me. That is the actual reality. That reality is covered first, which is called as mula avidya. When this reality is covered, my mind then plays a second mischief. First mischief is what it covers Atma. Second mischief is it starts projecting. Like when you don't know the rope, you say it is a rope snake. It is a snake. Suppose you don't know the shell, you think it is a silver. Suppose you don't know there is a sand, you project mirage water. Similarly, when you don't know you are Atma, you project that you are the waker. So in rope snake example, the first thing is projection of an unreal snake because of semi-darkness. Suppose there is a rope and it is bright sunlight and you see the rope, there is no mistake. But suppose you are in the night time, there is no light around, in darkness you see something lying around, then your mind thinks, oh, it could be a snake. So ignorance of the rope causes the mind to project a snake. Take another example, dream. Ignorance of the waker makes my mind project all the impressions in it And then when the mind projects those thoughts, I call it as dream. And then I get attached to the dream world, and then I say the dream world has caught me. The moment I wake up, then what happens? That entire dream world is realized as mithya, as false. So same thing happens in our waking state also. So when this self-ignorance goes away, and I come to realize this Atma, then I tell myself, Atma eva idagum sarvam. There are certain Upanishadic mantras I have given below, which negates the world. These are all pramana vakyams. These are the sources of the mantras from the Veda which negate the world as real. Appearance of the world, they don't negate. Kaivalya Upanishad, the 23rd and the 24th verse, Na bhumi rapo na cha vanni rasi, na chanilo mesti na chambaram cha, evam viditva paramatma rupam, guhashayam nishkalam advitiyam. Samasta sakshim sadasad vihinam prayati shuddham paramatma rupam. Two beautiful verses of Kaivalya. These two verses describe the nature of a person who has woken up to Atma Jnana. So what does this person who has woken up, what does he feel? When he comes to realize the real nature of the I, the fake I is the waker dreamer I. The real I is the Atma I. When you come to realize the Atma I, which is the one which shines in your sleep state as I, then with that I, you can say this entire world of Panchabhutas, the five element, it is there. It is an appearance. Why do we call it as an appearance? We say that the Atma, is the reality. Whatever I have experienced as the waking state is unreal because it is temporary. There is another Upanishad, Vedantic Upanishad. Actually, this is Kathopanishad mantra. It also comes in Vedantic Upanishad, which says that Neha nanasti kinchana. There is nothing in the universe except this Atma. There is another beautiful verse in Bhagavad Gita, the 4th chapter, 24th mantra. Brahmarpanam brahma havi, brahmagno brahmanahutam, brahmaiva tena gantavyam, brahma karma samadhina. Everything in this universe is called as Brahman, because Brahman is the locus from where this entire world originates, it exists, and it resolves. Brahman for you is just very simple, it is awareness, it is consciousness. Awareness, consciousness alone is there in our sleep state. Don't forget this statement because that should be your reference point for Atma at this time. Later on, you will realize a lot of other things. But right now, I am the Atma. I am not the mind which is experiencing the three states of waker, dreamer, sleeper. I am the consciousness in which all these three states are coming and going. So, two jobs of ignorance we have seen. This is the first job, it covers the Atma, which is Advaita Atma. Then it creates the Dvaita Prapancha. It creates, that means, see that Atma has got a power. It has got a power called as Maya Shakti. Like we have power. Power is invisible. Atma is invisible, its power is also invisible. Because of its power, which is called as Maya Shakti, it can project this entire world of waking. And once this waking world is created, then the jivas are there doing the activities, and throughout the day you will find people are active. And the moment I understand that I am not the seeker, I am the Atma, which is the reality, then this samsara which was disturbing me goes away. So, in this particular verse, samsara is treated like a swapna. Samsara is treated like a dream. Like you dream in the dream world and you have sorrow, you dream in the waking world also, and you project your own mind full of raga and dvesha. Suppose you have desires and desires and desires. Throughout the day, you are only trying to fulfill your desires. So I am riddled with attachments in life. To fulfill a desire, I need a wife, I need children, I need money, I need so many things in life. And these, when I try to fulfill this, my desires, I get into anger, krodha, I get into delusion, moha, I get into greed, lobha. These are all the attributes of the mind, all because of ignorance about self. They say there is a three-step problem: avidya, kama, karma. Avidya means ignorance. I don't know my real nature. Because of that, desire comes in my mind. Avidya, kama, because of desire, karma. I start doing actions. So when the Vedanta torchlight is brought, when the Atma Bodha is taught to me, my swapna state of Jagrat itself, I learn to drop the attachment to the body and mind. And here itself, I can say I am free. In Kathopanishad, there is a very beautiful mantra, Uttishtata, Jagrata, Prapyavaran, Nibodata. The teacher in Kathopanishad, Lord Ma, he teaches a student and he says, get up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Wake up from your swapna of the Jagrata. Wake up from your dream of your waking state. And the wake up from your dream. Dream state, waking, we all know. That is a micro serial, and the waking dream is a macro serial. That's all. Both are serials like you see in a TV. One episode, another episode, another episode. So our waking state also. Today, what did happen? I did this, I did this, I did this. It is a serial. So this is the way the world of mind. Mind is projecting the world. When the mind projections stop and the mind is turned inwards to look at the other side of the same coin, same world, In the same universe, a jnani is able to turn his mind towards Atma and see his real nature. Okay? This is the sixth verse. Now the next verse.
तावत् सत्यं जगद्भाति तावत् सत्यं जगद्भाति शुक्तिकारजतं यथा शुक्तिकारजतं यथा यावन्न ज्ञायते ब्रह्म यावन्न ज्ञायते ब्रह्म सर्वाधिष्ठानमद्वयम् सर्वाधिष्ठानमद्वयम्.
Example was rope snake. It causes fear in us. That is one of the emotional attributes. In this seventh verse, Shankaracharya gives another example, a shell and a silver. In the case of rope snake, you are running away from the rope. In the case of shell silver, you are running towards the shell. So one is a running away attitude in life, another is running towards all the attachments. Both these are problems. You want to get rid of something and you want to go towards something. And both are examples of unreal world becoming real because of our mind's raga and dvesha. There is no silver in the beach. I look at a shell. I think it is a silver. There is no, the world is not good or bad. World is world. It is neutral. I am with my mind, I cause attachments to the world. In my mind, there are thoughts, which is called as jnana adhyasa. So, the world appears to be real so long as this Atma is not known. Atma is like the shell. Atma is like the rope. If I know the rope, I know I will not be running towards the running away from the rope snake. So, if I know that Atma is always there, that means even when I'm seeing the world, I can look at the world as if it is the pure consciousness. World appears to be real with our lower nature of body-mind complex. As long as I'm looking through the body, the world is real. Suppose I withdraw the consciousness from my body-mind complex and I say I am the Atma, ever free. That is what is called as shifting the vision. In Mandukya Upanishad, this mantra number 7 is very, very popular. It says that I am not the waker, I am not the dreamer, I am not the sleeper, but I am the Turiya Atma. So as long as I keep on looking outside through my mind and through my sense organs, I will not be aware of my higher nature. So before Vedanta, before coming to Atma Bodha study, I think that I am the body which is made up of 5 elements and I cannot exist without the 5 elements. But after the study of Atma Bodha, Tattva Bodha, I come to know there is an Atma, there is an awareness consciousness from which the 5 elements are born. I can exist as the pure consciousness all alone. The world of waking dream is all made up of only Panchabhutas. In waking and dream, I am located in a particular city, in a particular body, and I'm experienced. But my real nature is to be Atma, which is not limited by time or space. Now, how many of these I's are possible? I am the limitless I. So, Veda says this limitless is only one. And this whole universe is rising from this I and it is resolving into I. In this example, I told you was shell silver, which causes attachment, raga. Rope snake is dvesha, aversion. So raga and dvesha makes me look at the world as real. So now you can understand that the world is pure consciousness alone as its substrate. Because of my attachment or aversion in my mind, I think that the world I experience is real, and I try to run towards, which is called as pravritti, towards the shell. Nivritti means I run away from the world, which is called as the rope snake. When I run towards and I run away, what is produced in my mind is called as punya papam. And this punya papam means merit and demerit, which happens plus minus, which happens in my mind as impressions in my mind that causes me to be reborn. Like you have small trickles which come from the top of a mountain. By the time it reaches down, it has become the river, the big Ganges. The flow of water at the top of the mountain is very, very small. But by the time it reaches, more water comes in and then it joins. Similarly, all the impressions which are there in our mind, which is called as the Karana Shariram, which we discussed in Tattva Bodha, is the repository of all the punya papams, which leads to future births and deaths, which is called as samsara. Next week, we'll start from verse number 8. And so verse number 8 is the starting point for next week. Next and following week, I may be traveling. So the date of, I'll just tell you now, next week is 26th. The Saturday of 2nd August, there will not be a class. So I will let you know by next week there is a class. But the 2nd of August, there will be, as I'm traveling out, there won't be a class on that week. Okay, let's close for today's session. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnahat Purnachade Purnasya Purnamaya Purnameva Vasishyade. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. In case you have any questions, you can type it in the chat box. And if there are no questions there, then you can just raise your hand and ask your questions. Don't worry, it's a simple question you can ask because we are all students of Vedanta and no problem. You can just What if you have a doubt, you can ask whatever we have learned today or in general. Okay, there's something in the chat box from Shama. Okay, she's talking about our bondage. How does one deal with Maya samsara that I have created or counts as an Okay, see, she's asking a very beautiful question. Um, it's a very, it's a very deep question. See, the main problem is our mind. Our mind is the cause of problem, cause of bondage, and our mind is the cause of freedom, liberation.
Yeah, very true.
Now, the mind, which is without the Vedic knowledge, is of bondage.
Beautiful. Mm-hmm.
The same mind with Vedic knowledge is the cause of moksha. So Maya is crossed over only by the study of scriptures. Only.
Very correct.
No other method. There is only one method. Come to study Bhagavad Gita, Upanishads. You will know how to cross over this Maya. Maya means mind. Maya means the world. Maya creates the mind, Maya creates the world. The world at large is nothing but Maya only. It is the Ishvara Srishti. It is the Ishvara's Maya which I am seeing in this waking state.
Yeah.
So the only way is realize there is something beyond this Maya, something which is not affected by Maya at all. Ishvara or Atma is not at all affected by Maya. For example, the waker is not at all affected by the dream world because it is a lower order of reality. Atma is a higher order of reality. It is not at all affected by the Maya of waking state. Not at all. Like the waker will say, oh, I am not at all affected. What all I saw in my dream. You wake up and say, oh my God, everything was in my mind. And then you forget about the dream within a few seconds and then you start your activity. Same thing happens when you wake up to the Atma Tattvam. The entire world of experience is just wiped away in a split second. It's happened so beautifully, exactly like effortless. How effortless you are waking from dream to waking. Same effortless is the same way you wake from the waker to the super waker status. The super waker status is the pure consciousness. The moment your mind becomes pure and pure and pure and pure by getting rid of your raga and dvesha, kartaka nut. You know, Shankaracharya gave that example of the kartaka nut. Similarly, the listening is the kartaka nut to bring down the raga dvesha in your mind down and down and down. The moment
can you remind the kartaka nut, please, Shekharji?
Yeah, sorry.
Can you just remind me about the kartaka nut?
Yeah, see, in just in one of the verses, we just heard about a kartaka nut. Now, kartaka is a nut which is very popular in the Himalayas. And what Shankaracharya says is this comes in verse number 5 of Atma Bodha. In verse number 5, Shankaracharya says, like you have a seed, kartaka or a nut, in a glass of water which is impure, which has got some dust particles and it has got some shrubs and things. You put that nut inside the water. What happens is the nut will absorb all the impurities and it will
Okay,
take it
okay.
down.
Mm-hmm.
And then you see our water.
Mm.
Similarly, our mind is like that. Today, our mind is full of raga and dvesha. It is full of
Mm.
likes and dislikes. I like
Mm.
this, I like this. I like this, I like. Whatever I like, I go after in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Shell silver. Whatever I
Mm.
don't like, I run away. Rope snake.
Mm.
So raga and dvesha are the examples for shell silver and the rope snake. Our whole life is only this. We are only our whole life cycle. You just
Mm.
analyze yourself. You just quietly go to a place, sit down in a park and Hyde Park and say, "Let me just run through my life and sit down
Mm.
and understand how did I land up today in Vedanta and what was the whole life all about." When I
Mm.
was a child, I wanted to be a doctor. When I was a youth, I wanted to get married. When I have children, then I want to get them married. They have got married, I've got to look after the grandchildren, and then I have to look after
Mm.
their problems.
Very
So
true.
that is my whole life.
Mm. Mm. Mm.
How
And
to
many
get
of
rid?
us, can be going through. You have mentioned about the emotional, so you have uh, bondages of different levels, no,
Correct.
mental,
Physical
physical,
bondages,
and
emotional
physical.
bondages, intellectual
Yeah,
bondage.
yeah, you referred to it. And I was just wondering, would you actually be able to give a comment about the power? It almost seems like all of these have different power weightage of which is the worst. And to me, it seems as if the emotional bondages, they have the highest power in how much it can grab you, and obstruct your even normal, like, my learning and Vedanta and all of that, it can actually obstruct
Yeah.
temporarily.
See, it depends on the individual. To
Oh, I
some
see.
people, to some
Mm,
people, the physical problems are the biggest obstacle.
I see.
To some people, emotional problems are the biggest obstacle.
Mm.
To some people, intellectual obstacles are the most prominent.
Correct. Can I
So,
just, in the same context, Shekhuji, I just wanted to ask, do we have issues with ideological problems? For instance,
yes,
like
plenty.
there were certain, as I grew up, there was that kind of
Yes,
a highly dedicated, devoted life as the highest ideology, almost like God. That's what
correct.
you lived with, yeah.
That is
And
the
it
intellectual problem.
Yeah, and which served very well for a large part of my life. But right now, it seems like if I'm applying the same principle now, it's actually not serving me well at all because I get caught into the trap.
Yes. See, these are all the bondages.
Mm-hmm.
So the moment you understand that mind is a bondage, mind is
Mm-hmm.
going through this, whenever
Mm-hmm.
the mind is in a cyclonic mood of going in circle and
I
circle,
love that cyclonic mode.
I mean, that's
Yeah,
what happens in a mind. You see, I'm
yeah.
constantly thinking of that again and again.
Cyclonic mode. Yeah.
It's a cyclonic mood of the mind, which makes me obsessed with the problem.
Correct. And by the cyclone, it also has a destructive power. So, for
Correct.
instance, like when I'm in a good place in my mind, it is so easy for me to study Vedanta, to do my dhyanam and this thing. On the other hand, if I'm caught into that cyclone, completely finished, wrecked, and it takes me quite some effort and time to actually come out of it. I actually write a lot to myself. That is how I can manage to somehow see wood for the trees, and it's a
Habit. You see, writing to yourself is a very good habit to to bring out all the
Yeah.
volcanic eruptions which is there in your mind.
And I
It's
keep
all,
getting reminded of these two birds, the two birds. Yeah,
yes,
it actually reminds me because there is one who is always knows and she
correct,
is very peaceful, contented, but the other one who is busy doing all sorts of silly things.
correct.
So, just one last question, Shikhaji, if I can ask. When we think about, they say there cannot be moksha until you have even like a thread in the needle, like how you cannot thread a needle, even if there is a little fiber. So is the power of desire. If you have even a tiniest bit of desire, you shall not obtain moksha. In that context, I just wanted to ask you a very kind of idea. I very much have a desire that when I'm leaving my body, I should be very aware and saying, okay, so this is it, and say, fine, lovely, great. I want to say goodbye, thank you, to the body and saying, yeah, you served me well. So would that be a desire or it's actually a desire for moksha? I don't know. I just only that little bit I feel I definitely would love to have. Would I call it a desire?
Well, this is a prayer of a seeker in Ishavasya Upanishad.
Really? Uh-huh.
It's a prayer. What you are telling me is exactly a prayer which is given in the end of Ishavasya Upanishad in the 16, 17, 18 mantras of Ishavasya Upanishad.
Wow, wow. I
This
shall
is,
look it up.
yeah, look it
Mm,
up. And
mhm,
you see, what the seeker there does is
mhm,
he joins hands and he's he is standing in front of the Surya Bhagavan
mhm, mhm,
and he's saying, "Oh Surya Bhagavan, you are so bright, I can't
mm.
see you at all. Now, please remove that covering. I have
Ah,
suffered a lot because this disc was being covered.
mm.
So please remove the disc. This is the last prayer I have before I leave this body." This is one
Wow.
prayer in Ishavasya Upanishad.
Uh-huh.
Very
Mm.
beautiful prayer. It comes in verse 16, 17, 18, three verses. It comes, the last two verses, 18 verses are there in Ishavasya. That is one place.
Brilliant.
There is another place where Shankaracharya
Mm.
says,
Mm.
you can utter this prayer at any time.
Uh-huh.
At any time. You can just close your eyes. Don't wait
Huh.
for the last moment of your leaving and all that. Because you don't
Huh.
know in what condition you will be at that time.
I know. Mhm.
Nobody knows.
Mm.
What will be my condition on the last day before my departure? Nobody knows.
Mhm.
What Shankaracharya advises, he is just for few seconds
Mhm.
and just say to yourself and utter a word, utter a prayer to the Panchabhutas and
Okay.
say Panchabhutas right now and
Uh-huh.
say Panchabhutas are the devatas which are
Yes.
holding this body and
Mm.
this mind inside this body. So
Beautiful.
you tell the Panchabhutas, you have done, I mean, I salute you, I pray to you, you have given me this beautiful body.
Mm.
I have come into this body and I've experienced the world.
Mm.
Without you, there is no experience. Only because of your body, I have entered this body. I have gone through what we generally remember is all the
Mm.
things which we have enjoyed in the world. So you
Mm.
see, I have enjoyed the world because of the your
Mhm.
grace.
Mhm. Mhm.
I want to leave this body, but before I leave this body, I want to thank you.
Mm. Mm.
It's a thanksgiving prayer to the Panchabhutas and say, "Oh Lord, you Panchabhutas, who have taken care of me without me even praying to you many times."
Where is this, Shikharji, this particular prayer?
I don't recollect where it is, but it is there. Shankaracharya's Bhashyam, this comes in.
Uh-huh.
He says
Okay.
that he says you can utter this prayer at any time.
Yeah, but I get the essence of it. Yeah, very
But the
effective.
essence is what? You pray to the Agni. See, there is another prayer which comes in, which also says when there is a big yajna going on,
Mm-hmm.
you can pray in that fire, yajna fire. You see, yajna fire is a big ritual, and the fire is there. You can just join your hands and pray to the fire in the Homakunda and say,
Mm-hmm.
"Oh Lord, you are the deity which is there blessing me throughout my life.
Mm-hmm.
You know I have stood before you and I have surrendered to you.
Mm-hmm.
I am surrendering to you now. Let me leave this body and get my freedom from birth and death. This is my prayer to you."
Mm-hmm.
And looking at the Agni Devata, you pray this.
Mm-hmm.
You will remember this prayer throughout your life. If you pray
Mm-hmm.
this with the deepest emotion in your heart,
Mm-hmm.
either to the Surya Bhagwan
Mm-hmm.
or to the Agni Devata, one prayer is enough.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Agadi. Thank you
Thank you.
so much. Hari Om. Hari Om.
Manikandan, in Nidithyasam, in Brahman, there is no Panchabhutas, and the same Brahman is still in. Yeah, that's correct. In Nidithyasam, mainly advised to claim the consciousness. When we negate everything, very difficult to grasp. Yes. Atma, as it cannot be objectified, why in most cases is advised to claim that I am everything in the world? Oh, okay, okay. See, good question, very deep question again. There is one, uh, there are two parts to this question. First is neti neti. You are just trying to tell, I am not this, I am not the body, I am not the mind. This is one part. In most of the bhashyams, Shankaracharya says, neti neti is the best way to come to the Atma. The best process by which we can come back to our real self is neti neti. This method. He says, I'm not this, I'm not this, I'm not this, I'm not this. And then you just, anything happens to your mind, immediately you say this, I'm not the thought. Again, you arrive at yourself, which is your Atma, which is Sakshi. So, first part of portion is correct. I am not the Panchabhutas. This is Nirvana Shatkam mantras. When we negate everything, very difficult to grasp Atma as it can be objectified, which is what the Veda says you should not objectify it. When you have negated everything, you should say, I am the subject, Atma. Don't again bring something for you to experience. Atma cannot be experienced. It can be only claimed as I am. So that answers your first part. Second part is Atma, Brahman is everything in the world. So first part I hope is clear. The second part is the moment you say Atma, you're talking about the Atma which is with reference to the body and mind complex. The moment you say Brahman, you are referring to the universe. What Upanishad says with the help of Mahavakya, Upanishad says this Atma is Brahman. The self in the body is the self in the universe. The self in the body and universe is only one. It is only ekam. Therefore, you can say, I am everything. I, as consciousness, am everything in the world. But here, when you say this, it is you are referring to the consciousness, you are not referring to the body or mind. You should be very careful. The moment you come out of meditation, you should not say, no, I was telling this in the meditation, but you see how I am a living person. No. When you say I am everything, it only means I am the awareness, I am the pure consciousness. That pure consciousness is called as Brahman. The pure consciousness is given a name Atma. Forget the names, hold on to the reality. In both the cases, you are trying to reach your own self. By neti neti also, you are trying to reach something which cannot be objectified. Don't try to objectify. Many of us make the mistake of trying to objectify Atma also. Atma,
Sekharji,
yeah, go ahead,
sorry, I did
Manikanta.
one mistake, the typing. Actually, the neti neti is very, many times it is being advised. Whereas claiming everything as, myself is very few times. In most of the Nididhyasana, even in meditation, we are finally coming to the neti neti only.
Correct.
My question is why this is not getting famous, like to claim I am everything. So we will make any mistakes while doing this? That's the reason
No,
this is
and
not being
everything
advised.
saying that is much more difficult than neti neti.
Okay.
Neti neti is easy for all people. Junior student can easily come back to this neti neti, or a senior student can easily say. Only in, see, both this neti neti comes 5 times in Vedantic Upanishad. Sarvatma Atma comes in Vedantic Upanishad also, but it comes only once. Sarvatma Atma Bhava is more difficult. Only
Okay.
when your mind is extremely purified, then you can claim this as Sarvatma Atma, because your mind has to be extremely subtle. Am I answering your question?
Yes, Sekharji.
Yeah, it is
That
very
was my question. Actually,
difficult.
I made a mistake in typing.
Okay, now you're clear, right?
Yes. Thank you, Sekharji.
Thank you. Anybody else has a question?
सर
Yeah, who is that?
मैं तपन मुखर्जी सर
Yeah, Tapan, go ahead.
सर ईसावास्य में आप जो बोल रहे थे वो है सर पुसन्न कर से यमसूर्य प्रजापत्य वो रश्मिन समूह तेजो
हाँ,
यत्
वही
कल्याणतम तत्ते
हाँ,
पश्यामि।
हाँ, बिल्कुल
अरे
वही।
सर हमारा जो पूछना था सर, ये 6 नंबर श्लोक है हमारा
हाँ,
आत्मबोध का,
हाँ,
इसका लास्ट में सर जो है ना, ये है आपको यहाँ लिखा हुआ है प्रबोधे सत्य सत सत भवेत। ये होना चाहिए सर प्रबोधे असत्यवद भवेत, स्वकाले सत्यवद भाति प्रबोधे सत्यवद भवेत, असत्यवद भवेत।
करेक्ट।
मैंने जस्ट
So-
आपको आप काइंडली देख लीजिएगा सर।
हाँ, उसमें क्या बोला है कि when आप जब आत्मा के बारे में सोचते हो और आपको लगता है कि मैं आत्मा हूं, प्रबोध समय मीन्स आई हैव वोकन
जागृत
अप
समय।
आत्मा, जागृत फ्रॉम वेकिंग वर्ल्ड, आई हैव वोकन अप टू आत्मा। प्रबोध समय,
प्रबोध समय असत्यवद भवेत।
हाँ, when you are woken up to the Atma, you say that waking state is asat. Waking
Yes,
state
sir.
is asat. Whereas Atma is sat. I am sat.
आत्मा
World
इस
is asat. Brahma satyam jagan mithya.
Hmm.
This is the last
Yes.
thing you should be able to say convincingly in your intellect.
Correct, sir.
It
अगर
should,
ब्रह्मज्ञान होगा,
हाँ,
अगर ब्रह्मज्ञान होगा तब जब प्रबोध होगा, तब जब जागृत में हमको लगेगा कि जगत मिथ्या है। अगर
करेक्ट
ब्रह्मोद होगा तब।
करेक्ट। जब हम ब्राह्मण बन जाते हैं तो फिर हम बोल सकते हैं कि ये जो जगत है ये बिल्कुल मिथ्या है, ये सपना जैसा
सर
है।
sir.
And until
जब
then
तक
we are saying Brahma Satya and Jagat Satya, dono.
हाँ
Until we reach there.
until जब तक हम स्वप्न देखते हैं तो जब तक फिर स्वप्न में हम कहते हैं कि ये स्वप्न एकदम रियल है
Real है,
Hmm.
real
हाँ
है.
क्योंकि मैं उस वक्त मैं बोल नहीं सकता हूँ
Hmm.
क्योंकि मेरे पास अंधतम प्रविशन थी मेरे पास फुल मुझे मालूम नहीं है कि मैं वेकर हूँ जब मैं वेकर हूँ तो मुझे मालूम नहीं कि मैं तुरीय आत्मा हूँ मैं ब्रह्मन हूँ मैं आत्मा हूँ जब मैं आत्मा स्टेटस में खड़े हो जा रहा हूँ तब मैं कह सकता हूँ कि वेकिंग पूरा गलत है ये पूरा मिथ्या है ये आया था चला गया
Yes, sir.
अगर वो रियलाइजेशन मुझे मिल जाता है तो फिर मैं वेकिंग स्टेट में भी बोल सकता हूँ कि मुझे ये वेकिंग स्टेट आएगा जाएगा लेकिन ये रियल नहीं है
Yeah. Also,
तो
Shekhar sorry, is when we reflect of our life, the time that has gone past, it actually feels like a dream. What
exactly
we have,
that is what I'm saying.
real dream, because sometimes you think, did it really happen?
Yes, that is a realization of a person who has started the journey of Atma.
Hmm.
You see, this is exactly the feeling of everyone. All the seekers are the same feeling. What happened to all my waking state?
Yeah.
They were like a when I saw it, when I was experiencing, it was like a dream.
True.
But now I've got up from that. I'm trying to look at myself as Atma. Then what happens? Even the waking state itself is a dream, but I am aware of it all the time.
Yeah.
Before I was not aware of it. That is what is called as waking up.
Right.
That is what is called as ignorance.
Correct.
You see,
Shikhaji, can I ask just one more question, please?
Yeah, go ahead. So,
Yeah.
Tapan Kumar, thank you very much.
Yes,
That
sir.
15th mantra is what I was trying to tell Shama. Is
15th? Is it
15th
15th?
mantra? Yeah, he said he has
Yes.
checked the Ishavasya Upanishad.
Acha, ठीक है.
The verse starts from Pushan Eva, that verse.
सही बात. Thank you so much. Shikhaji, until, in our spiritual journey, is it quite common and normal to have these fluctuations, of being at a very comfortable spiritual state and then going down and then coming
Yes,
up?
it's very, very common. Very, very common. So all the jnanis also go through these fluctuations of mind.
Acha.
They also go through fluctuations of mind, but then what happens is their realization is so strong, they can withstand the pressure of these turbulences in the mind.
And
You
they can
and I-
lift themselves.
You and I, we get plunged into the world, and then we get swamped into the world of our mental disturbances. But a jnani can come out of these disturbances and stand and say, all this is mrisha. Mrisha means it is a dream, it is a delusion.
And in that really there is nothing more to be thought about.
There's nothing else. Aham satyam, aham satyam, aham satyam. I am the satyam.
Yeah.
Again and again, assert in your mind, I, the Atma, am satyam. Whatever is experienced by me, whether it is good or bad.
Perfect.
Suppose you are in a 5-star hotel having a great buffet. That is also mithya. Suppose you say, I understand Atma very well. That is also mithya. It is knowledge is also ultimately regarded as mithya only because it is anatma.
Is there something a seeker should guard himself from?
Raga dvesha. Raga and dvesha, be always watchful. Be alert of your likes and dislikes. The moment you are aware of your likes and dislikes, you are already born as a jnani. You're already aware. You see, this awareness
Regardless of where you move about, that doesn't matter.
you do in life. You may be very successful in life. You may not be successful in some portions of your life.
Uh-huh.
Whatever happens in your experiential life, don't give too much attachment to that.
Yeah. For
Our
example, Shekharji, in the satsanga or the classes that we are having, one can feel very, very safe and secure. By the same token, if I'm going around in a place which is, you can see people who are absolutely terribly body conscious, then that also has its kind of an effect. So that's why I was asking whether there's a caution which one should observe.
see, a jnani can live in wherever he wants. He can be in
Okay.
the. You see, as far as you are not carried away,
Uh-huh.
you can remain anywhere. You can remain
Okay.
with all in the midst of the harm of life. You still be
Mm.
there in your own heart. The moment you close your eyes, you can come back to the green room and say, "I am that." Keep
As long as we are holding on to the Satyam.
yes. I'm holding on to the Satyam. Satyam is something which is there in the past, which is there now, which will always be there in the future.
Mm-hmm.
That is what is Satyam. In
Perfect.
3 periods of time, it never changes.
Mm-hmm.
The moment I hold on to that Satyam,
Mm.
it is a practice. You see, in Bhagavad Gita, they say that at the last moment of your life, also, you should chant Om and then leave this body.
Mm.
In the 6th chapter, in the 8th chapter, it says you chant Om and you leave the body. But
Mm-hmm.
then the Acharya, Shankaracharya says, don't wait for the last minute. Keep chanting Om and experience that Om now.
Mm-hmm.
You
Yeah.
don't get that Om while living.
Mhm.
Automatically, that Om will come to you in the last breath.
Perfect.
Huh. Many a
Yeah.
times, people who go for heart operations,
Mm-hmm.
they know that for the next 6 hours they will be unconscious.
Mm.
I have seen many people who chant Om and that's it.
Okay.
Om, Om, Om. They remember what they have chanted throughout their life, and that helps them to hold, and they can live, they can face that operation for 6 hours and remain unconscious and then come back again to life because they have full faith in that Om.
Mm.
Om is a very powerful word,
Yeah.
very, very powerful, but you have to cultivate that. You have to
Yeah. Yeah.
cultivate it throughout your life.
So it's
Good.
more to be concerned with what we need to do rather than
Yes.
what we need to worry about what shall I avoid.
No, no, don't worry of the last breath. You do right now. I told you 2 prayers. At any time, you can look at the sun and say, "Oh, you have given
Pancha
me the
Mahabhuta.
energy for the whole life. Right
Mm.
from birth till today, I have been surviving because of you.
Mm.
I want to utter a small thank you prayer to you because now I have the mindset to
Mm.
to chant the small prayer in its own way. This need not be with any mantra, nothing. You can just close your eyes and just out of your own heart, you can just thank. The same thing to the Agni Devata also.
Mhm.
Just chant a simple prayer and let that prayer remain always close at your heart.
Perfect.
Good. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Shekharji.
Thank you. Namaste. In case anybody, I hope nobody else has a question. Good. Thank you. Namaste. We'll catch up next week.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Shankarji.
Thank you.
Namaste.
Namaste. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.